So one of the biggest questions that I get asked is, how do I grow and adapt to change more gracefully? Truth be told, we as people probably are not the most graceful when it comes to change or growth. And even though all of us say that we can appreciate it, very few of us like to actively participate in it. And I think it's for a multitude of reasons, right? There is so much certainty that we crave, or we just appreciate the fact that we can control our lives, or that we don't like the things that we don't understand, or anything out of our comfort zone makes us uncomfortable. And we could go down a million bunny trails with those thoughts. But as a growth coach, here's what I've learned. Growth is necessary. Change is so vital to human existence, right? Like, can you imagine if we still did the same thing that they did 100 years ago? Or if you've been married 10 years or you're in your late 30s, what you want in your marriage now in your late 30s is very different than what you want in your early 20s. Or, as going from being single to then if you're a mom, like what I wanted and what I want now are very different. So it's actually necessary and super vital. And so because that is so true, I wanted to give you a tool or a different way to look at change and to look at growth, to give you something to kind of settle into. So as your world either starts to shift or you commit to your own journey of growth, that you can do it with more grace. So here's the idea. If you consider how climbers climb Everest, it's a really interesting, intuitive way in which they do this, because even if they wanted to just summit as fast as possible, they actually cannot do that. Their bodies would shut down along the way. And so they have base camps set up along the way before they summit. And here's why they have those base camps set up. Actually will climb past the base camp and then come back down. And the reason that they're doing it is what I want to suggest to you today is acclimate. The term acclimate is so powerful for climbers on Everest, and I am suggesting that it is actually so powerful for you in your journey that if you get your hands around it, it actually could change the way that you do life. Here's why. When you acclimate as a climber, what you're basically doing is you're readjusting your body to get used to the new environment. Same thing can be true in life for us. When you acclimate, when you've had a new change or a big move, or emotionally you've uncovered something that you weren't aware of, or something has sideswiped you or surprised you, or you've encountered loss or huge gain, if we don't acclimate to that and we don't grow accustomed to this new environment, it is really, really, really hard to sustain, right? And here's why, is because you can't use the old way of doing things in a new environment. You've got to learn the tricks of the trade of the new environment to sustain it. It's like someone who wins the lottery and is broke a year later, or someone who is in an amazing relationship and finds ways to sabotage it. Externally, things have started to change, but internally, it hasn't changed. We have to realize that growth comes and is sustained through an internal identity shift, so that way we can sustain what's going on around us. That's number one. The second thing that climbers are doing is that they're actively resting. Most of us don't have active rest. We either literally stop or avoid or get on the couch or hunker down or whatever it might be. We stop movement, or we're overactivators, we're overachievers. Our list of things to do is a mile long. We're in busy syndrome. We've got way too much going on for our own good, and we never give ourselves a chance to actively rest. Well, how much am I supposed to rest, Julia? I don't know. That's not a blue pill. How you rest and how I rest and how your brother, sister's cousin rests, all are gonna look different, that only you can really answer that, but it is necessary. The other thing that climbers do is that they actually will drop gear, which means the gear that got them to one base camp may not be the gear that they take to the next base camp, nor is it the gear that they summit with. You guys, what got you to where you are will not get you to where you're going. And so in these times of acclimating, you have to literally look around and go, what mindsets won't serve me anymore? What friendships are just, not that they're bad and I'm trying to get rid of them, but can't go where I'm going? What habits, what patterns, what food, what processes, what systems that have got me to where I am, I can honor them and appreciate them, but then recognize that those same things won't be the thing that get me to where I want to go. Just like in working out, you can lose 30 pounds like that and then all of a sudden you plateau. Why? It's because we haven't decided to change a new pattern, try something new, shock our bodies a little bit, and create the change. This is what I'm suggesting you need to look at, that on your journey of growth and in the journey of change, which is inevitable, we cannot stop it no matter how much you think you like it or don't. That's a mirage. In order to get good at this, here's what I would suggest. Give yourself a chance to acclimate, to get accustomed to the new environment, to start finding different habits and routines that you can drop, and to give yourself the time to have some active rest so all of you can continue the climb. Because here's what the climbers know. I'm not stopping at base camp 1, nor am I stopping at base camp 2. I didn't come this far to only come this far. I'm going to the top. The same is true for you. You're going to the top of your mountain. You're not gonna stop, so it would serve you to get better at acclimating at every phase. So today, if you're mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, in business or personal, if you are being stretched, your capacity is being grown, you are committed to growth or change is happening around you, I just want you to create a little bit of time to acclimate to the things that are going around you, and then to continue to climb from there so that when you get there, wherever there may be on your journey, that you stay there.